Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party has selected its new leader, who's also set to become the country's next prime minister. The former defence minister, Shigeru Ishiba, will replace current leader Fumio Kishida, who suffered a series of financial and political scandals. DW's East Asia correspondent James Chater has more.
This is Japan's new Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, who has won leadership of the country's ruling party, the LDP, at the fifth attempt. The former defense minister beat out conservative Sanae Takeichi, who was bidding to be Japan's first female leader. The LDP has been in power for almost all of the past 7 decades. Its majority in parliament guarantees the 67-year-old Ishiba will be elected prime minister on Monday, and in office, he'll set the tone for foreign policy. Ishiba supports revising Japan's pacifist constitution, and has said he wants to bolster the country's military relationship with Washington. He's also proposed a NATO-style security partnership in Asia to push back against North Korea and China, an idea that has infuriated both Pyongyang and Beijing. In recent months, China and Russia have stepped up the frequency of joint military drills in waters near Japan.
What's happening in Ukraine today may happen in East Asia tomorrow. This is the discussion we're having in Japan, and many people may indeed have these fears.
Ishiba is also a backer of Taiwan, the island democracy Beijing claims as its territory. He met with Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te in Taipei just last month. The new Prime Minister belongs to the progressive wing of his party and backs policies many of his colleagues oppose, including allowing female emperors. That means he'll still have his work cut out to ensure the factions that brought down his predecessor don't also bring down him.
James Chater told us more about how his victory will be perceived overseas.
Ishiba's proposal to create an Asian version of NATO was certainly grabbing headlines before this election. This is something, though it has to be said, that senior US officials have said is a fantasy and is unlikely to happen in the near future. But what it is a demonstration of, really, is Ishiba's commitment to alliances that Japan has been building over the past couple of years, both with the United States and other partners in the region, and that is something that China and North Korea will not look favourably upon. Ishiba, for example, is one of the few politicians from the ruling party that acknowledges Japanese aggression during their occupation of Korea at the beginning of the 20th century, and therefore we can expect that warmer sentiment between the US, Japan and South Korea that we've seen develop over the past couple of years to continue. This was an alliance, of course, that was really built and deepened with concerns over China in mind. And then just finally on Taiwan, a reminder that Ishiba was in Taipei. The new Prime Minister of Japan was in Taipei meeting with Taiwan's president only last month. It's extremely rare for such a leader of such a major power to be in Taiwan, so close to them being in office, because of course most countries don't have official ties with Taiwan. While in Taipei, Ishiba called for more cooperation with Taiwan on the economic front and across other areas too. Incidentally, one of the first people to congratulate Ishiba on his victory was the Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te. He said that he looked forward to deepening ties with Japan's new leader.